there's immense amount of sacrifice at first to just learn, and just you have to be very humble. You have to take feedback, and you have to be able to take someone not liking your work, and you just can't be you can't be emotionally attached to it. You just got to realize for you, it's a creation, but for the doctor receiving it, it's just a product. And if they're not happy with it, you got to fix it. You can't get upset about it.
Welcome to the Wealthy by Design show. I'm Jane Somerset, your host. In this show, we'll explore what it really means to build wealth intentionally, not just in your bank account, but in your health, your time, and your sense of purpose. So follow along and enjoy the show. Today, we have Adam from Chameleon Dental Labs. Now, Adam has started quite a few companies, but most recently, he started Chameleon Dental Labs with his wife. He has a great perspective on what it takes to start a business from scratch, and he also has a great perspective on what wealthy means. So welcome to the show, Adam. You started this lab with your wife, is that correct?
Yeah, this is actually our second go around at this. And I'm 41. I've been in dentistry since I was 18. And I started off as a DA too, actually helping in the office. And then I got that job because my dentist asked me, what are you doing? You're 18. What are you up to? I was like, I don't know. So she said, would you like to have a entry-level job helping me? I was like, asked her, I said, well, can men even do that? Are men allowed to do that job? She started laughing. She said, yes. So that's how I started off in dental. And then I met a lab guy who made dentures. So I started learning that. Then we owned our own denture lab, old school denture lab, had that for some years. And then sold that, moved overseas for a little while with our two boys. And then back in 2020, during COVID, I wanted to start something different. So I thought the future is going to be digital, not the old way. Mm-hmm. So I decided to jump all in digital. So we bought a software, and I would just practice learning it all day. And then at night, I would watch YouTube videos about things about it, and just applied the knowledge I had already to it. And that was like the beginning of it.
That is amazing. How do you do that with overhead?
So when we started it, I had nothing. I had to start it just with, I think I was between, I wasn't working at the time. I had a 11-year-old and a 13-year-old boys and my wife. And I told my wife, I think we should try this. And she was very supportive, but terrified. So and then I bought a scan. I bought the littlest possible to get started. So I bought some software and a 3D printer, and I started just learning it, and producing products that I could make simply back then, which was like night guards and digital dentures, things that are, the material process is easy. So that was kind of the beginning of it. And then I would go out and, learn that. I went out and tried to visit a different customer. I think I visited over 100 dental offices in person during COVID, and hardly, you can't get past, I think those gatekeepers do a good job, because I think you could walk in and say, I have $1 million to give to the dentist, and they'd say, go away. And you could actually have it. And I get it. A lot of salespeople come in but we had a really cool way of doing things to offer. And, but back then dentists they were thinking about getting a scanner. Mm-hmm. They were thinking about it. And then some of them, I'll go in, they were like, I just got one, or it's on order, or I'm thinking about doing it. Now, fast forward 5 years, they have multiple scanners. Now they have 3D printers.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's been a very, very fast change. I think it's changed more in the past 5 years than the previous 20.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. So I answer your question. Sorry about it being overhead. I started off in my mother-in-law's dining room. I didn't have a spot to go. I just would go out and try to. Then I got a customer. I think I got a dentist to send me some stuff, and then it got busier. Over years, I had friends in the industry, and we had good friends in our area. Dr. Robert and Bobby Stanley, they're amazing dentists, and he was doing a lot of full arch surgeries. And he said the surgery portion goes really well, but I need help restoring them. It's very complicated. It's very expensive, a lot of parts. So they had a space upstairs in their office at another floor upstairs, and the lab had just left there. So they were kind enough to let me go in there and just have a little corner and just kind of start helping them improve their process. Right. So then for their benefit, they had an in-house lab. And for me, I was able to have someone, it benefited me because I was able to have somewhere to go, and he was very open to testing new ways of doing things. So he was like a friend / guinea pig. to test stuff
Yeah.
and very forward thinking. So that was I was able to develop a process, and then the light bulb went off that once we had ironed out this process of making these full arches all digital, and my whole goal was to keep it in digital world. I didn't want to touch it with my hand except for the artistry part of it. Any of the inner fittings, any of the parts that needed verification jigs and little all the time consuming components, I didn't want to deal with those. That's what makes it expensive. So I thought, well, if we can keep it all digital, well, the only thing I have to do is make it look pretty at the end. And I can do it modelless and there's no parts except for a screw. That's when I was like, okay, well then how cheaply can I make them? I didn't care what the dentist charges. I don't care what they charge. They can charge $1 million an arch. I don't care. I just wanted to know how cheaply could I make them, but still do a good job. Oh, and then I was like, well, that's my price. And it was way less than everyone else. And we weren't cutting corners. We were just streamlining the process.
Yeah, systems.
So then I started training, and then I started hiring, I hired somebody first, a good friend of mine who had experience managing things. I'm not a good manager. I'm terrible at it, but he was good at managing things. So we hired him, and then, I started training him how to be a designer, and I would just slowly, we kind of grew it that way. So we just bought what we needed, and we spent money very frugally, but also and then we started spending a lot of time with social media and marketing and creating content that we thought was funny and we thought was helpful.
Hmm.
And that combination, things started to grow.
Is very, very cool. Now, was your wife in the dental industry?
Yeah, she had 18 years in dentistry, dental. She used to be dental assistant for a long
Okay.
time, and she handled kind of the social media marketing point of it.
Hmm.
She worked in the office, so she knew what was the pain points of dentists and their teams.
Yeah.
So she would try to alleviate those. So she was like, "Hey, with this lab, we need to focus on good communication. That's what they want. They want to be able to communicate very easily." So that was one of our core values, communication. So a lot of our clients have our phone numbers. They have our team members' numbers. We have a lot of ways to we'll FaceTime them, help them out with cases if they need help, and we just help them. So that was a our clients seem to value that.
And so when somebody calls, they're actually going to be talking to, when the dentist calls, they're going to be talking right to the lab tech.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very important that they have contact with their designer.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
great.
designer working on their case will actually talk to the doctor themselves, and they'll actually like send them exocad scenes where you can actually play with your own case and see it how you
Well,
like it. So yeah, it's cut down on remakes too because if you saw it and you approved it, I mean that's
hmm,
we were both involved in it, which is nice.
what was one of the biggest challenges for you to set up the whole lab?
Everything was hard. I mean, it was terrifying just to learn it. That was one massive hurdle. There are hardly you can't go learn this. You can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna be a lab technician when I grow up." You can't. Okay, but there's hardly any schools left to teach it.
Mhm.
And then the schools that are left, technology is changing so fast that I don't. If I can barely keep up, I don't know how an institution can keep up and then also create a curriculum around it. It's changing too fast.
I definitely agree. Where are you guys based? Where is
We're
your
in we're in Cary, North Carolina.
okay? And you have one lab right now?
We have one lab and we're a team of about 16.
Oh,
I get to work with my 2 boys now, which is really nice. So they're 18. They're almost 19 and 16. So I've been training them for years, and my older son is a really good designer. I mean, he designs all kinds of complex implant products, and he's on the phone with doctors all the time, and they have no idea he's 18.
well, he was kind of born with it, right? I mean,
Yes, right.
parents in dental, which I
Yep.
feel like is kind of rare as well on the lab side of things when you're getting into technology to have like that much dental background before you're designing things on the computer. And so now you have your two boys that have been growing up. It's just a lot of dental experience.
Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of dental. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But it's fun. It's fun to
Yeah.
teach your kids something.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna continue,
They
working in
they
the
like it.
family
I
business?
was
Yeah.
telling them, I was like, "Guys, you don't have to do this if you don't want." And they were like, "No, I really like it."
It's like a video game, but with, real rewards.
It's funny you said that. That's exactly what it's like because other older people that I've taught to do CAD,
Mm.
it takes them a second to get an idea with the moving something in 3D world. But when I taught younger people, like my son, um, moving a 3D object is nothing. Moving the computer is like second nature. It's now you just got to teach them dentistry. So it's in that way it's very easy training a younger generation, and it's attractive to a young generation. They think it's cool.
For those who are interested in what you do, what tips or advice would you say for them to get involved?
Yeah, right. Right. I would say if you want to learn dental technology, dental laboratory technology in a digital way, I would try to find a dental lab that is willing to train you or work with you. And for a while, like I took when I wanted to learn it, I had to switch. I went from dental assisting to 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 entry level lab job, and it was a 50% pay cut, and I had a kid on the way. So for me, I moved in with my parents as a married man with a kid coming, and so I could afford to take a pay cut to learn it.
Mhm.
So there's immense amount of sacrifice at first to just learn, and just a lot of you have to be very humble. You have to take feedback, and you have to be able to take someone not liking your work, and you just can't be you can't be emotionally attached to it. You just got to realize for you it's a creation, but for the doctor receiving it, it's just a product. And if they're not happy with it, you got to fix it. You can't get upset about it.
Mhm.
So you have to kind of it's you can't be overly attached to what you're making. To be attached to it and do a good job, but you can't be overly attached to it. And don't be yeah, it's probably my biggest thing, to find someone that'll willing to show you and to do what it takes to even maybe learn for free, just to have the opportunity to do something with it later.
That's great advice. And coming from starting a lab, working in your mother-in-law's house, and
Mhm.
now you're a lab where you and your wife have your sons
Yep.
involved, and now you're reaching worldwide. That's is very successful.
Yeah, it's
And you
fun.
probably have a little bit of flexibility because you own your own lab to maybe relax sometimes, possibly.
Yeah, it comes in waves. That comes in. We have a very good team now, so I try to do yeah, I try to work 3 or 4 days a week. But we also as a business owner, you're always working.
Yeah.
You're always thinking about it. You can't. I think the biggest thing, if you're thinking about becoming a business owner, you have to ask yourself, the grass is not greener as a business owner. It's just different color grass. And you just have to find
Mhm.
out, which one are you? Do I want to have all this to worry about? Do I want to have all the control, or do I want to be able to go somewhere, do a good job, and go home and kind of let that go? That's I think the temperament question is the biggest question first. Which temperament are you?
So, Adam, where do you see your business in 5 years from now? Or where would you like it to be?
In 5 years, I think the question is where I'd like it to be. I'm happy where it is now, to be honest with you. I want to keep going as long as I'm having fun. So everyone's got to work, but I'm very happy with what we've achieved so far. More is not always better. So I think just keep growing at a pace that we can have fun, have happy clients, hire good team members, and have things run more and more without me
Mm.
is probably the goal that I have, although things do run very well without me. I think just keep growing at a pace that is sustainable and everyone's happy.
Yeah, I like that. Keeping the balance.
Yes.
If you had a magic wand to overcome one challenge or barrier for your business, what would you change?
That was easy. To be able to effectively get in front of the client that wants what you're offering. To be able to find a system that I was able to get in front of the person who wanted the service that we have. Because when I meet them, it's instantly they know that's what they've been looking for, and I know that's the exact person I like to work with, and it's a great instant connection. So to be able to find them more easily.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's easier nowadays with technology because it's kind of, yeah,
Yeah, but it definitely is better. You're right.
better and some more challenges at the same time.
Yeah.
What does wealthy by design mean to you? And do you think you've reached what you consider to be wealthy?
Wealthy to me means have a happy family, good friends, your health, purpose, and to not be broke. So, money, there's way more to the word wealth. People always assume it's money related, but more money does not make you happier. Once you have what you need and a little bit extra, it's about as much as money can give you. So I think being able to have good friends and family, good purpose, that to me, that's, what wealthy means.
I like that as well. I agree. So
Yep.
thank you very much for coming on today, Adam. Where can
Yeah.
people find you?
We're on Instagram, Chameleon Digital Dental. I think yeah, we're Chameleon Labs or Chameleon. I don't even know my own Instagram. That's pretty bad. Or it's chameleon.dental.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much again for coming on. Adam had a lot of really great insights. Here's a quick recap on what we discussed. Starting a business takes sacrifice. Sometimes it takes not even getting paid to just learn the business and truly provide a good service. Number two, you can take an industry standard and then learn new technologies and different ways to implement new things with that standard to offer something that will make you stand out. Number three, money only gets you so far. Being financially secure is important, but focusing on your health and having a purpose is very important to being wealthy. Number four, there's so much to learn out there. So if you find a mentor in your field, you'll learn a lot quicker. I hope you enjoyed that episode. And if you have any questions or suggestions or would like to be on the show, go ahead and send an email to thewealthybydesignshow@gmail.com. We'll see you at the next show.